Okay, so last class we completed Postgres installation. Okay, so on Windows we did on Windows and on Linux. On Windows, what is the method we followed? GUI method is a graphical user interface. In Linux, there are three methods are there. So we installed only one method, that is M method. Okay. So this is how we are installing Postgres database software. So in Linux, there are total three methods are there. So as of now, only one method we discussed and we installed using M method. The remaining RPM method and source code method will discuss when DBA topics are started. After SQL, PL SQL, when DBA course started, that time we'll discuss the remaining two methods. So in total, in Linux, there are three methods are there to install Postgres database software. In Windows, only one method, that is GUI method only, graphical user interface. So to start SQL, first we have to install Postgres database. Okay, so we already installed on Windows and Linux. So let's see introduction about SQL. Okay, so let me open Paint. So this is my database server, Linux server. Okay, so this is my Linux server. On top of Linux, which Linux we have? Suppose you can say, I installed a Linux. I installed Linux. Which Linux we install? Oracle, Oracle Linux. Oracle Linux, what is the version? 8.10. This is the Oracle Linux 8.10 we installed. So on top of Oracle Linux, we installed Postgres database. Which version? What is the version we installed Postgres? Yes, PG 15. Yes. So when you install Postgres, what is the default home location? Yes, /usr pgsql-15. So what is the data directory? This is for home location. Home location. Postgres home location. So what is the data directory? /var lib pgsql-15 data. This is the data directory. What is the purpose of data directory? Yes. What is the purpose of data directory? Am I audible? Yes, right? Hello? I am audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the I installed. Okay. So this is can say this is the Postgres database installation. Postgres database installation. So we used the M method. Yesterday we installed Postgres database. So that is the home location /usr pgsql-15 /var lib pgsql-15 data. Okay. So when you create a cluster, how to create a cluster? What is the utility you can use?
Any TVs.
Init db. Yes. So this is the utility which you can use to create a new cluster. To create a new cluster. Each cluster, each cluster, it has, hmm, each cluster, it has own port number and own data directory. If you want to create a cluster, you require a separate data directory location, separate port number. Yes. So which port number yesterday we used? Suppose this
Five.
is the cluster we created yesterday. So how to create cluster? This cluster initdb. Using initdb, we created a cluster initdb. Yes, using initdb we created. So what is the port number? 5432. What is this? Each cluster it has own data directory. We did not create a data directory. It automatically created. What is the data directory? Data directory /var lib pgsql-15 data. This is the data directory. It's automatically created and it takes default data directory. How many database got created? Yes. How many database get created?
3, sir.
Postgres, template 1, template 0. So these are the three database created when you create a cluster. So like this, you can create a number of clusters. Yes, second cluster. Second cluster also, it's required separate port number 5433. Yes, it's 32 already using existing cluster. So what is the data directory for this? You have to use separate data directory. Suppose slash user 1 15 data 1. Yes, this data directory, this directory, both data directory is not same. Both are different. Like this, you can create n number of clusters. Third cluster, fourth cluster. Means a cluster, it contains this is the cluster. So can say these are the databases. Cluster, it contains n number of databases, n number of databases, n number of database. A database contains suppose this is my Postgres database. This is my Postgres database. So inside the database, there is a schemas are there. Schemas are there. Inside the schemas, there are a objects are there. Objects are there. Objects are there. So cluster followed, you can say cluster followed databases, database followed schemas, schemas followed objects. So each cluster, it contains how many database are there? Three database are there. Each database, it contains, let me, can say each cluster, it has minimum, it has three default databases are there. Three default databases are there. Yes, each database, each database, each database, it has default schema. What is the default schema? Each database public. So cluster followed databases, database followed schemas, schemas followed objects. Objects means you can say objects. It could be table, it could be view, it could be materialized view, it could be trigger, it could be sequence. These are the database objects. These all objects during the SQL will cover. That means so a cluster followed databases, database followed, you can say this is the cluster. It cluster followed three databases. Database followed schemas. So what is the default schema? Schemas followed objects. This is the hierarchy. You can say this is the cluster. Cluster, it contains three databases, three DBs. What are those? Postgres, template 1, template 0, three database. Each database, it has a own schema. What is the schema? What is the default schema name? Each database public. So each schema, it has followed objects. What are the default? Some objects are there. What are the example objects? It could be table, it could be view, it could be sequence, etc. So a cluster, it contains databases. A database contains schemas. A schema contains objects. So yesterday we discussed this Postgres SQL, Oracle. There is a RDBMS supported products. What are those? Oracle, PostgreSQL, MySQL, MS SQL. These all are RDBMS products. That means these all the database should support SQL language only. Should support SQL language only. If it is SQL language, how can store the data in the SQL language? Form of form of tables. Form of tables. Tables. A table contains. Hmm. Table contains, it contains rows and columns. Rows and columns. So when you create a table, the table will be stored inside a inside schema. Yes or no? If you create a table, employee table, if you create, suppose I create an employee table, I created employee table. This table EMP, where it has stored inside the schema, one schema. A schema where can store inside one database. A database where can store inside the cluster. This is the hierarchy, cluster hierarchy. Cluster followed databases, database followed schemas, schemas followed objects. Okay, so like this, n number of database you can create. There is no limitation. Like this, you can create n number of schemas. Like this, you can create n number of objects. There is no limitation based on the system configuration. You can create n number of clusters. You can create n number of clusters, n number of clusters, n number of, you can say, n number of clusters, n number of clusters. Here, n number of databases. Yes, you can create. Here, n number of schemas. Yes, n number of schemas. You can create n number of objects. N number of objects. Clear? Okay. So a cluster followed database, database followed schemas, schemas followed objects. By default, each cluster it has three databases. Each database it has one default schema, that is public schema. Public schema. Each schema it followed some default objects, that is system objects. Okay. So we build the database server using M method. So install the repository RPM. Yes. Next, disable the PostgreSQL module. Then install the software. Then create the cluster. This is the step for creating the cluster. What is the utility which you can use? initdb. So next, enable the services. Then start the services. Once install the Postgres, once you build this all the steps, once you fire this all the steps, that means we build the Postgres. We have done build the Postgres database server. That means we install the software, we created the cluster, we started the services, Postgres services. How to verify the service are started or not? Let me connect server, root, Oracle. Let me go to terminal, take the IP address, if config 124. Let me open putty. Yes, 192.168, 0.124. Root Oracle. Yes. Change settings, appearance, change. You can see. Okay. Sudo su hyphen ps minus efa grep postgres. You can see. How to verify the service are running or not? PS minus EFA space minus EFA pipe symbol grep postgres. If the services are running, it will display. If the services are not running, it won't display anything. So using this command, you can verify, or you can use systemctl. Systemctl status PostgreSQL. Systemctl status sta status PostgreSQL 15.service. You can use this command if you want to verify the Postgres services using systemctl. You can use this command, or if you use ps minus efa grep Postgres, you can use this command. Both the commands are purpose is to verify Postgres services are running or not. So if you see when you fire this command, if you see active is running, that means system services are running, Postgres services are running. When you give this command, it give the output like this. Yes, that means this is the home location. This is the data directory. There is a background process. Yes, Postgres services are running. Let me stop the services. How to stop the services using systemctl? Systemctl systemctl stop PostgreSQL 15 dot service. I am stopping the services. Let me stop. Let me verify now. PS minus grep Postgres. Nothing is there. Let me verify services using systemctl. Systemctl status. You can see here inactive, dead. That means there is no services are running. Currently, it's stopped state. This is how we are stop the services. Verify the services. Let me keep into notepad. To check the Postgres services are running or not. Using PS minus one method, first method. Yes. You can say you can use first method PS minus CFA grep Postgres. Okay. So now after if you want to second method using systemctl status Postgres SQL. Here active, it should be active running state. That means Postgres services are running. Next, how to stop the services? How to stop the services? How to stop the Postgres services? How to stop the Postgres services? Using systemctl. Yes, using systemctl you can stop the services. You can say systemctl stop Postgres SQL 15 dot service. After stopping, if you want to verify, now verify Postgres services. You can say so using PS man grep there is no output. That means Postgres services are running. Using systemctl, yes, you can verify using systemctl. So systemctl status Postgres 15 dot service. This is the service file. What is the location of this service file? You can see here. What is the location of Postgres SQL 15 dot service file? This is the location slash user lib system d system under system. There is a service file located. Now by seeing this output, we can understand Postgres service are not running. Okay. So now using pgctl. Using pgctl. Yes. How to stop the services using pgctl? You have to switch to Postgres user. Then you have to verify Postgres service checking Postgres DB service running or not. If not running, we need to start the services. So what is the home location? How to start the services using systemctl using pgctl. So we know how to start systemctl. Yes or no? So let's say you can say if you want to start the services, start Postgres SQL 15 dot services. I started. Let me verify status. Now it's active running. Yes or no? Okay. So using systemctl, you can let me start Postgres services using systemctl. Systemctl start Postgres. Just you can, if you want to stop, change this keyword. If you want to status, change this keyword. That's it. The remaining same before and after. Active, it's running. Okay. Using pgctl. Using pgctl. Start. Start Postgres services. How to start and stop? How to start and stop Postgres services using PGCTL? So let me switch to SU-Postgres. So if you want to start the services using PGCTL, if you want to start the services using PGCTL, you have to switch to Postgres user. Which user we used to install Postgres? Using PG underscore CTL. Using Postgres user. So I switch to Postgres user. SU-Postgres user. Now we need to confirm which user we are in. We are with the Postgres user. By seeing this name, we can understand we are with the Postgres user, not a root user. Yes, we install Postgres using Postgres user. So if you want to start and stop services using PGCTL, you have to switch Postgres user. Now let me verify PS minus EF grep Postgres. Yes, services are running. Services are running. So now I want to stop the services. What is the PGCTL? PGCTL is the utility. It's a binary file, PG underscore CTL. It's a binary file, PGCTL. It's a utility. What is the location of PGCTL? All the binaries, what is the default location? What is the PSQL location? Hmm. Yes. Under bin folder. Yesterday we seen, right? Under bin folder, all the utilities are there. Either PSQL or PGCTL, either initdb, all the binaries. Whenever I ask binaries, utilities, executable files, all the binaries, all the executable files, all the utilities, what is the default location? This is the default location. Bin folder, binaries, all the binaries will be installed bin folder only. So you have to use full path of PGCTL. I want to stop PGCTL stop -d which cluster data directory, which data directory services. This is how can stop cluster services using PGCTL. If you want to stop the services, this is the syntax which we can use. You can use your data directory. You can use your your location of PGCTL stop. -d indicates data directory. Now you can verify PS manuscript Postgres. Nothing is there. There is no like this. Output is not like this. Now, if you want to start again, yes, same step. Start. Start -d data directory. Now you can say server started. Server started. That means services are started. Now you can verify PS manuscript Postgres. Yes. This is how you can verify. Stop the services, start the services using PGCTL. Using PGCTL. Any queries from anyone? Examples. Okay. Can say. So this is for wherever you see stop. This is for stopping the cluster services. Our cluster data directory. This is the current data directory. Where you can see how can understand what is the data directory. When you give PS minus group Postgres, this is the data directory. This is the data directory. What is the purpose of data directory? All the files and data files and conflict files are there. This is the home location. Yes. /user pgsql-15. This is the bin folder. These all are background process. If you want to stop the cluster services, PGCTL full path of PGCTL stop -d data directory. You can say shutdown. Done. Means services are stopped state. Now again, when you verify services, nothing is there. Now if you want to start the services, PGCTL start -d data directory. Server started, it give acknowledge. Yes, it give message. Started services. Now you can verify. Yes, we got the background process, all the installation location data directory. Clear? If you want to status using PGCTL, if you want to status using PGCTL, just you can keep status. STATUS. You can say server is running with the PID. So each server it's running with one PID, process ID 8935. Can say what is the process ID? This is the services. This is the process ID 8935. The same thing it's mentioned. The server is running. So this is how you can verify, how you can start PGCTL You can use PGCTL to start. You can use PGCTL to stop the services. You can use PGCTL to get the status of the services. Or you can use system CTL. System CTL, make sure you have to run with root account only. Root account only. You can say, let me use system CTL. Suppose exit. I want to use PGCTL from root account. It's possible. I want to stop the services using PGCTL with root account. It's possible.
No, sir.
Hmm?
No,
Yes or no? It's possible or not?
no, sir.
No. Why?
Because
Hmm? What is the reason? Anyone? Harish? I want to start the services using PGCTL with a root account. It's possible or not?
no, sir.
What is the reason behind? What is the reason why we cannot using PGCTL with a root account? The reason is PGCTL is a binary file. We installed Postgres. How to get this PGCTL after installing Postgres? So how to install Postgres with a one user, any software which is going to install using one user. Here we used what user? Postgres user. Default it's automatically used Postgres user. So when you use Postgres user, if you want to use any software, any binary file, PGCTL or PSQL, you have to switch to Postgres user. We are not install Postgres with the root account. We install Postgres with which user? Postgres user. When you use here, you can say let me use here with root account. Status can say cannot be run as a root. Please log in using SU. How to log in? SU user, switch user as the unprivileged user that will own the server process. So this server process, who is the owner of this PGCTL? This data directory. This data directory owned by Postgres user. So we used one user to install Postgres. That username is Postgres. So when you start the services, when you stop the services, when you want to connect the database, these all the things you have to done with the Postgres user only, not root account. We can start the services using system CTL. System CTL is the OS level utility that's owned by root user. We can start the services, we can stop the services using system CTL with root account. Let me say systemctl stop Postgres SQL. Systemctl stop Postgres SQL GRE 15 dot service. You can say stopped. Let me status stat.us. Now you can say it's inactive. Now it's inactive state. Systemctl is there. It's a OS level utility. It's not a Postgres utility. OS level, who is the owner? Super user root. So DB level, who is the super user? Postgres. If you want to utilize, if you want to use any Postgres software related utility, you have to switch to Postgres user. PGCTL is the Postgres utility. It's under bin folder. PGCTL is there. PSQL is a Postgres utility. It located under bin folder. So it's owned by Postgres user. We used a Postgres user while installation. So the same way you can switch to Postgres user, you can use PGCTL or PSQL. System CTL is the OS level utility. We can start Postgres services. We can stop using system CTL with the root account. Clear? Let me start. Start. Yes. Can say It's not. Let me verify. TS minus EF, grep, Postgres. You can see it's running state. Let me see the error. What is the? You can see failed to start. Postgres SQL database server log file postmas is another. Yeah, it's already running. That's what is another postmaster PID. It's already running. Okay. So if you want to let me, yes, before we started PGCTL, right? Let me stop the services using PGCTL. Then we can start. Stop. Yes. Now there is no services. Now you can use system CTL. Now you can see started without any error. Now let me verify the status. Yes, it's active running. Okay. So we cannot start the services using PGCTL with a root account. Why? Because Postgres we created a cluster. Everything is done with Postgres user, not root user. So if you want to connect the database, if you want to start the services, stop service using PGCTL, we have to switch to Postgres user. You have to switch to Postgres user. If you want to try to connect to PSQL, it's not connecting. You can say root. Root does not exist. Connection to the server failed. But role root does not exist. What is the role we use? Postgres user, not root user. So you have to always we have to switch to Postgres user. You can use PSQL. It's connected. Yes. Here Postgres user. We switched Postgres user. We are not with the root account. Suppose if you can install Postgres with a Postgres one user. The username is Postgres one. That time how to connect the database? Which user we need to switch? Yes.
Postgres one.
SU hyphen
Postgres one.
Postgres one. Yes. So in different in companies they use their own user. Suppose they keep okay Postgres okay one. So we need to understand there is a Excel sheet is there inventory sheet. They once they installed all the servers all the database they maintain one wiki page or one inventory sheet Excel sheet server name which user they used to install Postgres, what is the port they used, what is the data directory they used. Like this, all the information will be available one page. That is people called as a wiki page or Confluence page or inventory sheet like Excel sheet. By seeing the Excel sheet, we can understand, okay, if you log into so and so server, what is the user they used? The common user they used for all the servers. The common user they used for all the servers. Port number will be different each and every cluster. It should be different. Then only we can start the services. If it is same port number, we cannot start. Clear? Any queries from anyone? How to start the services, stop the services using PGCTL, using system CTL. Okay. Now let me PSQL. Yes, I connected. /L. Now you can say database. How many database are there? So 4 database are there. So this is the meta command. The same database information. There is a system table is there. PG underscore database. PG underscore database. /day PG underscore database. This is the system table automatically created. This table can store all the database information. This table we are not created. This table, what is the purpose of this table? PG underscore database. This is the PG underscore database. It can store the database information. Database information. How can see the database information? How can see the database information /L? It lists the existing database information, DB's information, or you can use select star from PG underscore database. This is the table. How can see the table data? Suppose in Linux there is a file is there, emp file, emp.txt. How can see this file data in Linux? Yes.
Cat emp dot.
Cat emp.tst. Okay, this is the table. In database, everything is table, yes or no? In database, how can store the data? In the form of tables. Suppose we are assuming this is the table, system is created automatically. In the table, how can see the table data? There is a SQL language select statement. Select is the command which we can use to see the table data. To see the table data, we can use select command. Select is the command which we can use to see the table data. To see the file data, cat. To see the table data, select. Star. Star indicates all the columns data. This table contains rows and columns. I want to see all the columns data. Then star. From is the keyword. Before table name we can keep. So if you give this select star from, if you give this one, it lists all the column. This is the, you can see this is the column. Second column, third column, fourth column. How many columns are there? These many columns are there. So if you want to display only one column data, that name means database name from pg underscore database. You can say how many database are there? Only one column data I want to display. You can mention the instead of star, you can mention column name. How many database are there for that? The same information we get it /l or select from this table. So this is how you can get the database information. Select star from table name. So let's see, in the table there is a rows and columns are there. So inside the table we can create the tables. Inside the table there is a rows and columns are there. How can define the columns? Each and every table. So you can say suppose, okay, create table, table name emp. So bracket, column name emp number integer data type, e name varchar data type, varchar of 10, employee date of joining, date data type. So these are the data, each column it has a data type. That means in this column what type of data you want to store? Employee number means it's kind of 1 2 3 4, yes or no? Employee number 1 2 3 4, it's all are numeric data, yes or no? Employee ID, employee number, employee phone number, what type of data? It's a numeric data. Suppose employee phone number, what type of data can store inside this column? Numeric or character? Yes. How it would be? Okay, this is the phone number, yes or no? Like this is the entire numeric data. It's not like that, yes or no? A, B, C, D. It's not like phone number. So the phone number should be all our digits. It's a numeric data. Whenever you want to store the numeric data specific column, you can specify the data type is integer. Int means integer. Means under employee number, we can store the integer data. We can store the numeric data. Each and every column we need to specify the data type. There is a majorly we use three data types: integer data type, integer data type, int. Okay, character or varchar or test data type, date data type, date data type. These are the mainly we use. These are the three data types. Data types indicates what type of data it can store specific column. If you mention int means inside this column, what type of data we can store? We can enter the data. Only numeric data it can allow. It cannot allow character data. Character data means example, tell me. Suppose, yes, all the characters. Yes, can say Venkat. Venkat 1 2 3. Yes, it allow. So when you insert the data, when you define character or varchar or test data type for any column, we can insert either all the character data or half of the character data, half of the numeric data as well. Clear? But when you define the data type integer, we cannot enter character data. We should only enter into numeric data only when you define integer. For this specific column, we need to enter it. It can allow only integer data only. Clear? So the second data type is character or varchar or test data type. Character, it's a limited. Suppose character 10 characters. That means only 10 characters is allowed. How many characters this one? How many characters the highlighted word? How many
5,
characters?
6, sir. 6.
6,
So what is the limit I given? Character
10, sir.
10. So it can allow up to 10 characters only. When you define employee name, character or varchar 10, it can allow up to 10 characters name only. It can allow all characters or either few of the characters and few of the numeric data as well. Test means unlimited. Unlimited. The limit is there is no limit for test data type. Either character, either varchar, either test data. For all the things, it should allow character data. In general, name should be like this, right? Venkat, that's it. Venkat 123, it's not name. But if you want to enter, yes, you can. It can allow. Data type. Suppose employee date of joining. When the employee joined, I want to store the data as well. Yes, I want to keep the data as well. Each and every employee when they joined, when they left the company. Okay, DD, MM, YY. DD, month, date, month, year. Date, what is the date today? 31st. What is the month? 07. What is the year? 2025. So this is the date format. Date data type. Whenever you want to, so in this column, what type of data I can store? Only data related information I can store inside this column. Clear? Each and every inside the table, you can create a number of columns and rows. A table contains rows and columns. Rows and columns. Each column, it should be defined data type. Employee number, integer data type, comma, second column name, data type, comma, third column name, data type. If you want to finish only 3 columns in the inside this table, close the bracket, semicolon. This is how we create the table inside the database. Before creating the table, you need to define what are the column names, what are the data types you want to define, what type of data you want to store. Only numerical, define the integer. Only character, define the varchar or test. Only data related, define the data type. Clear? Data types, just go through, you can say numeric data type. Numeric data type. Numeric data type, you can define small int, integer, big int, decimal, numeric. These all are integer data type only. What is the range? If you give integer, what is the range? From this number to this number you can give the range. If you give small int, what is the storage capacity? 2 bytes. Small range integer, this is the number. We cannot, it cannot allow more than this number if you give small int. That's why you can, you can give integer only. That's it. Int, integer. Int or integer. Big int, it takes 8 bytes storage size. What is the 8 bytes? What is the big int? It take this much number. It can allow till this much number. Decimal, yes, it take up to decimal, you can say up to digits before decimal point. Up to before digits, you can suppose 13.0.13 decimal, 123.2 like this. Numeric data type. These all are in general. Out of this, we are using only integer. That's fine. Integer, or you can use numeric, you can use big int, you can use small int. These are the numeric data types. Each and every example, suppose small int. Let me create table. Create table, table name, EMB, column, small int. Here what is the column name given? Column. What is the data type? Small int I given. When you insert the data, insert into table name. How to insert the data? Insert into table name. What is your table name? This is the table name. Then values. You can see 33000. Its small int is out of range. Means it cannot allow. What is the range? 3 to 767. What is the range? Small int 3 to 767 only. If you give more than this value, it cannot allow. That's why general we are using integer data type. So just you can integer, varchar or character or test data type or data data type. Majorly we are using these are the three data types. So now tell me. Okay, employee name, employee name, employee ID, employee address, employee phone number, employee DOJ. Okay. Now tell me what type of data type we can assign here. What type of data type? Yes.
char, varchar,
Char or varchar or test data type. Okay. Next, employee ID. What type of data type you can assign?
int, integer,
Integer. Next, address. Fast.
char or varchar, sir.
Yes. So address it could be okay. Suppose Kukatpalli, Hyderabad, pin number 5,75,000. So in the address there is a characters are there and also possible numeric data also there. So it can allow both. That's why you can assign varchar or character or test. So employee phone number. What type of data type you can assign here?
Integers,
Integer. So here date of joining. What type of data type?
dates,
Date data type. Okay, so these are the main data types we are used while creating the tables. Each and every table, how many columns are there? Each and every column it should specified data type. Data type indicates what type of data it can go and store inside the column. By seeing this data type, you can understand employee number, it can allow only numeric data. Employee name, it can allow numeric or character, both type of data. Employee date of joining, this column allow only data related date information only. Clear? Okay, so tomorrow we'll start the SQL commands first topic. This is the SQL syllabus. You can see here. You can say first is SQL commands, DDL create command. Using create command, we can create the tables. We can insert the command. You can say if you want to insert the data, there is a insert statement. So we'll need to discuss these all the SQL commands, then operators, then clauses, then functions, then constraints, then alias names, then database objects, views, militarized views, sequence synonym, subqueries, joins, PL SQL package, procedure, trigger, index, then logs. If you complete these all, we are familiar with SQL PL SQL. It takes 30 days. Don't miss the classes and join the class at 8 o'clock exactly. So we don't want to wait after 9 o'clock. I have some other work. So we start the class exactly 8 o'clock and with 9 o'clock or before 9.